Well, firefighters on the South Shore have really had their hands full today with roof collapses.
There were at least 3 that we know of. This roof caved in on Lincoln Building in Hingham Square. It's a vacant building, but this thing was built back in 1859. In Abington, the weight of the snow took down half of the roof of a building that houses batting cages. But the biggest loss may be in Rockland. A huge section of the roof there gave way at the piano mill, and it crushed some of the pianos inside, including one that belonged to Liberace. Of course, business owners aren't the only ones who need to worry about all this. Tonight, Jim Armstrong shows us some solutions for homeowners.
The risk of a residential roof collapse is actually very, very small, especially if the roof is pitched, and most are. The real problem comes from massive ice dams that easily form in your gutters.
That water is all backed up behind that dam. It can't go anywhere.
Plow truck drivers aren't the only ones running ragged these days.
They've run an intensity from anywhere from 1 a minute to 1 every 10 minutes. So
one phone call a minute.
That's 24 hours a day. It's insane.
Roofers like this team simply can't keep up with the calls.
I don't think I've ever seen it this bad ever.
This homeowner, who didn't want to go on camera, already has water pouring inside. Feet of snow on her roof, melted by the heat of her house, ends up trapped behind thick ice dams.
So we got to create a channel for that water to drain away.
Across the street, a similar story.
We actually had enough ice last week that it ripped one of our gutters off.
Josh Jacobs had to have his whole roof cleared last Friday. 96 hours later, it's all back.
We try to do what we can ourselves, but basically you're kind of at the mercy in a situation like this of the elements and the roofers.
But even the experts are flat out. If you call Newton Roofing Residential today, they might get to you late this week. Maybe.
But at this point, it's impossible for us to actually put a schedule together because the calls are coming in so fast.
Homeowners who can't wait can use a roof rake gently to try to take off the first 3 or 4 feet of snow.
It's frustrating, but it's also just scary because ultimately, you know, if it keeps on snowing and snowing, then there's not much you can do.
A professional roof cleaning in an area like this is probably going to cost you about $800, and there's no guarantee you won't have to do it again. In Newton, Jim Armstrong, WBZ News.